Hey y'all, so today I am in my office and I wanted to talk to you about something that happened to me on last week. I feel like so many students miss out on free money because they aren't paying attention to this. But before I get started, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So if you're new to my channel, I am a student who is getting their doctorate in higher education. I'm actually getting an educational doctorate in EDD, and I am currently writing my dissertation right now. I am working on chapter 2, the literature review. Oh, Lord help me. And one of the ways that I am able to pay for school, or the main way, is that I receive a scholarship through my employer that pays for my tuition and fees. And I also have scholarships, right? So I have 2 scholarships that pay out money for me based on the credit hours that I am taking. And because I already have a scholarship that covers every single thing, that money is basically refunded to me as a refund or free money. Remember, you want the money that is free, scholarships or grants that you do not have to pay back. But as I was looking at my student account, maybe about a week or so ago, I noticed that one of my grants didn't pay out. So I always recommend to students, you need to be checking your student account, especially the weeks before classes start and even the weeks after they start. You want to review all of your scholarships and grants to make sure that they are paying out and that you get the money that's yours, right? I often feel like students just miss this step. A lot of times they get dropped from courses because they were not checking to see if their financial aid actually paid out, because things can be missed at times. So I'm always just looking at my student account, making sure that everything is all copacetic and that I'm going to get all of my funds. And as I was doing that, I noticed that one of my grants did not pay out. I gave it about a week or so, and then I went back to check the dates that stated, when funds would be paid out. That's really, really important. You want to make sure that you go to your student's financial aid website, or that you speak with someone to ask, hey, can you tell me when my grants or my aid should be paid out? This is also listed under your student account. It typically has the date that things will be paid out. So I noticed that the date had gone by. We had a snowstorm, and I felt like, okay, maybe, folks were not in office, and maybe somebody has to push the button, to ensure that the funding is going to go out. So I waited like another week, but it still hadn't paid out. So that's when I contacted financial aid and I said, hey, I have this scholarship. I noticed that it hasn't paid out yet. Can you help me with this? So here was another thing that came up. I am only taking one course, which is basically my dissertation hours, and they count for 3 hours. But I was kind of, wondering maybe it didn't pay out because I'm not taking my typical 2 courses. But I also felt like that it should be prorated. So here's a pro tip. If you are receiving scholarships and grants and there is a certain amount of hours that are attached to it, in order for that to pay out, it's important for you to know, how many hours that is, and if you take less than that, will they prorate the amount, or will they base the amount that you're set to receive on the number of hours that you're taking? So for example, in the past I had a scholarship to where if I took 9 hours, it would pay out the full $500, but if I took less than that, as long as I was half time, it would pay out $250. So I had been there, done that before. So I kind of felt like maybe that was what's supposed to happen, but it didn't. So I was like, let me get somebody on the line so that I can see if I've done my part or if there's something that may have been missed. Once I was able to contact someone, the financial aid rep let me know that, hey, you are correct. Your aid was supposed to pay out. You are enrolled in the correct number of hours, but this needs to be manually put in. So once I, let them know all of the information that they needed, they were able to go back in and manually update the system. Sometimes I think like students may think that, hey, these things just happen, automatically. They have it set on a timer or something like that, but that's not always the case. because for this actually had to be manually put in the computer. Remember, these are humans, they are not robots, they are not superhumans, and sometimes things get missed, and that's okay. That's why it's important, you know, for us to do our part to make sure that we are checking everything, to make sure that things are paying out the way that they're supposed to, that the correct amount is put in, that the scholarship, you know, has a date that it is supposed to be paid out, so you can kind of know when to contact, you know, who in case this doesn't happen. So you're probably wondering, how much, you know, were you missing out on? That scholarship, actually, the total was going to be $500, but because I took less hours than what was required, I took half of those. That total was prorated to $250. I hear people all the time saying, oh my gosh, $250, you know, that's not enough, blah, blah, blah. But remember, you're not supposed to just apply for one scholarship. You're supposed to apply for multiple. Listen, all dollars count, so please do not be discouraged about, you know, smaller amounts. That's $250 that can go to books, that can go to a meal plan, that can go to you, you know, paying for a trip associated with your major. So don't be intimidated by the small numbers. So my final total that I received this semester in free money, meaning scholarships and grants that I do not have to give back, and I gotta look at my calculator, y'all, it is $732.10. So listen, that is a nice chunk of change for a student, right? Especially for a student who may not be working full-time. I'm working full-time, but that money's still going to be set aside to assist me with other things that I would like to do as well. If you want to know more about how you can get free money for school, be sure to check out this playlist here. Bye.